Hi, I'm Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. I am super excited for today's video, which is kind of weird considering what the subject is. But basically a week or two ago, I came across this post on Facebook, which I will put here. And it was just someone sharing a little ceramic frog toilet bolt cover. This little frog on this toilet just was so cute. And I was like, okay, I have to make some of these little guys. I'm going to be using Sculpting clay, which if you don't know what it is, it's an oil-based clay that you can bake in the oven and it hardens, and then you can paint or leave as is. Since my Sculpting clay is this funky flesh color, I'm going to be painting it and hopefully trying to make it look like porcelain. But the first design I'm going to be doing is a little mushroom. Let's get started. So for my base, I'm going to use a paintbrush handle. So basically I went to the bathroom before, took off the bolt cover, measured how long the bolt was against my paintbrush. So I'm just going to be sculpting all my little guys on top of here, and then I'll just slide them off and it'll leave a hollow that I'll be able to put over my bolt. So to start my mushroom, I rolled out a log and shoved that down onto my paintbrush handle to make a stem for my mushroom. Then I used a silicone tip sculpting tool to add in some lines of texture. I then rolled this out to soften those lines as well as to smooth out the mushroom stalk. Next, I rolled out a ball of clay for my cap, then flattened it on the table while slightly rolling it with my palm to create a convex disc. Then I plopped this down onto my stalk and used my fingers to drag the clay of the stem up into the cap to attach them. After this, I gave it a roll on the table to help smooth out the top of my mushroom cap. Lastly, I used a sculpting tool to add the gills to the underside of the mushroom cap. And with that, my mushroom was done. On to the next one. I started off my cat the same way, rolling out a log of clay, then working that onto my brush handle. Then I gave that a roll on the table to smooth it out. This was going to be my cat's body. I was going to be keeping this design pretty simple, but to give it a bit more dimension, I made its body a little curved to give the impression that it was sitting. Next, I rolled out a ball of clay for the head and plopped that down onto the body. Then, to give this little guy a neck, I rolled out a thin log of clay, wrapped it around the neck area between the head and body, then using a sculpting tool to drag the clay up onto the head as well as down onto the body to give a seamless transition, and then using my fingers to further smooth it out. Once it was all smooth, I used my fingers to shape the little snoot of my cat by just pushing the clay where I wanted it and dragging it away from where I didn't. Once I was happy with the general head shape, I added 2 triangles for the ears, and once again used my wood sculpting tool and my fingers to smooth the clay together. Then I rolled out another thin log for the tail. I wrapped this around the bottom, then added a small glob of clay to help attach the base of the tail to his butt. Then again, went in with my sculpting tool and fingers on the bottom to smooth the clay together so that it was firmly attached and so that the tail wouldn't fall off. I think I'm gonna stop on the cat for now. I'm hoping with the paint job it'll be cute. I don't know, we'll see. He's not exactly sparking joy at the moment. He just looks like a little fleshy totem, which I mean, I kind of want him to look like a totem than a real cat, like just a, you know, simplistic cat, but that's rough, buddy. For the next one, I didn't know which one I wanted to make, and so I put it up for an Instagram vote, and my Instagram friends said to make a duck. So that's gonna be the next one we're gonna do. This one started off a little different. I basically just took a glob of clay and started rolling it out into a teardrop shape. Then I rocked it back and forth to help shape and smooth out the rounder end. I then used rubbing alcohol, which I hadn't been able to find earlier, to help get it really smooth. I went back and smoothed the cat this way as well. Then I plopped him down onto my paintbrush to create the space for the bolt. After that, I rolled out a ball of clay for the head, and once again attached that by dragging clay back and forth from the body to the head, and then smoothed it out by adding pieces around the neck. Once the neck was smooth, I took time to look at him from different angles to try and even up my symmetry. For the beak, I took another little log and rolled out the end so that it came to points. I then stuck it on his face and started flattening it with my fingers, and then smoothed the clay together. But it was looking a lot like the brim of a baseball cap, so I gave it a little trim. And once he was done, it was time for the oven. Goodbye, little guys, may you cook in peace. Once they were out of the oven, I gave them a quick sand to smooth out any lumps and bumps. And then they all got a base coat of white paint. Then it was time for their paint jobs. For my mushroom, I went with the classic look, painting a red cap, and then doing a wash of brown on the stem to give it more depth. To make a wash, you water down the paint, paint it all over the area you want it, then wipe it off so it stays in all the cracks and crevices, but is removed from all the high points. Then I painted dots on the cap using a flat head brush and twirling it in little circles. Then for my duck, I went with the classic rubber ducky look, painting his body yellow and beak orange, then giving him happy upturned eyes. For my cat, I decided to make him a calico kitty, giving him spots of different shades of brown and black, then painting his ears and nose pink, and giving him happy upturned eyes as well. And once they were all painted, they got a clear coat for protection, and then they were done. Time for the reveal. So I'm a renter, which can be restrictive as far as personalizing your space, and I just think this is a really fun, silly way to add a little touch of whimsy. Would you decorate with one of these little guys? If so, what creature would you want? Let me know. I hope you enjoyed, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye!